everyone, welcome back. I'm Denise. Today I'm going to paint a sampler piece here in my handmade journal. This is from the fabric snippet rolls journal class that I have, but I have 4 classes on these journals, starting from the glued journal all the way up to lots of different ideas, and these came about because I loved my Dina Wakley one so much that I wanted to be able to use my own papers and some handmade papers and my own designs. So this is the one that we've been painting in with all the lovely mindful pieces that I've already filled in here, and most of these are either out or coming out, and you can find them in the art journal playlist, and 1 or 2 of these might be upcoming projects for classes that I have coming out, because there's one in here I think I did for a class one. Which one was that? Oh yes, this one. This one's coming up. This is one of my very favorite because I like the colors, and it's coming up. So this is what's on the other side of this handmade paper. I did splatter some blue on here to just be kind of fun. I think I accidentally did it and then I added to it on purpose. I think over here I'm just going to leave it like it is for now, and I can always glue something on top of that or continue working over here. I could gesso it if I didn't want whatever I do on top of this to soak through to the other side. I could add a layer of gesso. And then that'll keep whatever I'm painting on this side to stay on this side and not soak through, whereas it's a really fibrous cotton kind of paper. But I think on this side I'm going to paint a mindful exercise, and I got myself a baby T-square. I have a gigantic T-square from school from years ago, but it's so big, it's like, I don't know, like 2.5 feet. It's really, really large. And I wanted a T-square. Where'd my pencil I was using go? Let's grab another one. I wanted a T-square to work at my art table because sometimes drawing lines, they don't come out straight. And with a T-square, you could just line this up with the edge of your paper, and then you don't have to do, 2 or 3 markings. So I just thought I would share my fun baby little T-square. It makes drawing grids super easy and fast because you can just mark it, and then the edge of your paper is your straight edge, and you can draw your lines all the way down. I think I've somehow mismeasured there on the bottom. That's okay. We're going to just come on down a hair. I'm just kind of making myself about 1.5 by 1.5 squares, and what I want to do is just paint a different item in every square, similar to some other samplers that we've done. I'm going to be in my Masha's watercolor set. This is the 20-piece Denise Love set, which sometimes she stocks the Denise Love set, but if she doesn't, these are the colors in this set. So I'm just going to kind of match up what I think I want to do today and just play. This is the perfect way to do samplers and some different ideas that maybe you've got. I've got a couple brushes that I might pull out. I've got my Princeton Neptune brushes, and then I've also got let's see, I kind of want a little square brush, so just looking over here, like maybe this one. This is a Princeton Velvet 1/2 inch angle brush. I just want to be able to do some different designs and patterns in the different squares, and then I can erase the squares when we're done. I just thought it'd be fun. Got some water sitting right here. And then, once we get the different watercolors, we can mark make and do some other stuff on top of that. So today will be a sampler day. So let's just see what we can get. So I'm kind of feeling like maybe I want to just experiment and play. And these colors are very saturated, so usually when I wet them down, first they're like almost like too much. So I'm just creating myself a pile of paint over here. and I'm just gonna play. So I'm kind of thinking that I want to do just something I don't normally do. Maybe I'll grab this one. So what have I grabbed? I've grabbed sand. I've grabbed dragon's blood. That one was shadow green light. And then I might use like the sand as my neutralizer. Like if you pick several colors and you're not sure they're all going to go, but you're like, I need them to go. If you'll mix a little bit of one of those colors, this is the tree bark. If you'll mix a little bit of one of the colors into all the colors, you've kind of neutralized it into them all kind of blending and matching. It's one of the mother color methods, but I just want to play here and see, like, what can I get? Let's do some of this orange. And then that's a good way to kind of get a harmonious color palette, just to dip a little bit of one of those colors in with that. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just start doing some different patterns in the different boxes and just make a fun little sampler. And I'm going to just try to stay within the box pattern that I've given myself. And this is a good way to practice brush control. It's a good way to experiment with colors. And then I'm just going to maybe dip some of this other color in there because make it fun. It's a good way to practice how you hold the brush and how you gain more control over whatever it is that you're creating. It's just kind of fun. And then it's also, a good way to practice different brush, the way you hold it and the way you kind of like different mark making elements here. It's a good way to practice. With control and lines and supplies, and just play. And then it's a good, a really good way to see like what each type of brush that you have, what it does. It's a different way to really gain some expertise with the different types of brushes that you have, because just with this one brush, look at those 3 different patterns that I got out of just the one brush. And then we can continue on and just see, like, can you fill all the brushes? What color was that? Was that tree bark? Can you fill all the boxes with one brush, but each box being a completely different mark? That's kind of a fun challenge there, actually, isn't it? So I may do that, or I may not do that. I may just, I may just keep going with my original plan of filling the boxes, but that is a nice way for an additional challenge here on this particular a sampler set of grid boxes like this. Alright, that's fun. I want to play with the different brushes though. So maybe I'm going to get out this 1/2 inch one, get that wet. Not sure what color I had mixed there, but I totally, we just totally got rid of it accidentally. Oh, look at that though. We just created like the coolest like lines. Like, it's not perfect. Now I'm kind of sad that we've got to this side and it's not straight. There we go. Close enough. Let's kind of do it over here to make it on purpose. Look at that! And we got some cool lines in the lines. That's super fun. Alright, that was super fun actually. Okay, now I'm kind of feeling like we had the orange over here. Let's see what this gives us. Okay, so this brush does not hold nearly as much water as those Neptune ones. Just, just as a case you're wondering. Let's go from this other side and see what that gives us. Okay, I'm liking that. I wish I'd gone a little higher there in that box, but we can get some really good kind of elongated pieces there. I like it. Kind of thinking I want another stripy line, but maybe more like this. Oh yeah, that's super fun. Alright, I'm gonna get the bigger. Actually, I'm going to get this one 1/2 inch oval wash, Princeton Neptune. Kind of kept this to like a green and blue and stuff, but I think I'm going to come back and throw in like a green and red and orange, but I think I'm going to come back and throw in some of this yummy blue iron. And I can pull a little bit of that color if I want some of those in there just to harmonize it if I want. I should have moved that one to a different square, but I wanted leaves, but I think I should have probably did that in a different square. That's okay. It's all about the play. So some of these are still wet, and I want to lean my hand right here without running into them. So this is just a wooden paint stick from the paint store, and it was free. So go visit the paint store and see if you've got any great big paint sticks that they've got for mixing the big gallons of paint, the big 5-gallon ones, and see if you can get one of those. Ooh, that one's fun. Now I almost wish I'd made these a tiny bit larger, but that's okay. I love it. I love it. It's fun to experiment and paint and play. Let's see, what else do I want to do? Kind of want one up here. And I want these to be not like straight lines, like the top be straight, but the bottom not be straight. So that's kind of a fun variation on that kind of thing. Oh, look at that. That's fun. What I like about Masha's watercolors is they granulate, and they're super fun in that granulation. I like it when the watercolors do tricks. These are my trick watercolors. Okay, let's see here. Okay, that brush made a super cool pattern. I like it. That was different. Alright, so we just got a couple tiny more boxes to fill up. We're doing good. Alright. What do we want that one to be? Kind of feeling like it needs to be, like maybe a green, but there's a green right there. I mean, it's kind of touching all of that, but maybe a green. Let's go back to this one. And let's just see. I'm going for a wonky square there, so wonky was what I'm going for, but I'm going to put another one in there. So let's get the smaller round brush and maybe come in here with the blue. And we can maybe touch them. Okay, and then maybe come back with some mark making. So I'm going to go ahead and let this dry, and I'll be right back. Alright, now I'm ready to start mark making. I'm 90% dry. There's maybe one or two wet spots, but I'm going to kind of just play and experiment. I've got these Copic Acrea markers. I've got some of these little Tooli-Arts acrylic paint pens. And with these, you definitely got to shake them up and then get them restarted, and then they're ready to go. So I really like how these Acreas work, and I like the gold. The gold is pretty. And I'm just going to start kind of mark making on all the different boxes and just seeing like what cool marks and patterns can I do to further decorate and embellish the boxes that we've already created. And again, it's just an excellent way to pull out all the supplies that you already have. You don't have to have anything I'm using. And just mark, make, and experiment and figure out, like, how do my supplies work? And what will they do if I do this or I do that or what have you. That's why I like these different kind of activities like this, because we can just end up doing all kinds of super fun stuff. And it doesn't matter what materials that you've got to play with. You play with whatever you have on hand. This is just keeping my hand from scrubbing onto the different boxes in case. And I like doing color on color, and I like doing contrasting, because the color on color is interesting. You have to get closer to be like, ooh, what's going on in there? And then obviously the contrasting ones really show up. And I like dots, and I like lines, and I like dashes, all kinds of fun whatevers that you can think up. I like these Tooli-Art ones because of the colors. They're different than any other brand. This is the Earth Tones box that I'm pulling out of, and I just liked the variety of colors in it more than anything. Okay, I really like wonky lines on top of what we did on here, so that was a fun kind of discovery there. Just some fun wonkiness. I like wonky anyway, but I do like the way the wonky looks on top of that. It's not really a fine tip though, so you gotta be real careful on even getting a good small line or small bit, because it's a big bold bullet nose there. So this is just little gold marks that I'm just kind of adding in because I like the way they shimmer in the light. Just like some extra little mark making on top of the marks. It's just fun to see how they all interact and play. And then once you've kind of got everything marked and extra marked and played and did everything that you think, okay, I've played with everything I could play and I've thrown everything at it, then you can very carefully erase your pencil lines. And I use some of these white kind of erasers, these soft polymer, high polymer kind of erasers. This Pentel one's a good one. The sensor one is, I don't know, a random one that came in something. But the little white polymers are good for just really getting in there and getting the pencil marks out for you. And you do want to make sure everything is dry before you do that. And then rather than smearing my whole hand across this, I just like to take a clean brush and just brush the eraser stuff off, just in case, and that way you don't smear any of your art supplies all over. Oh, look at that. This is super fun. Alright, that was this. I just love doing sampler pieces where we're playing with all our supplies. So that one's way more squares and a little busier than some of the samplers I've done before. And I think it too would be fun if these were even larger, like 2-inch squares would be cool. There's enough sets here where I could have done great big squares, but I absolutely love this. And with it flanking this page here with the blue, I think it looks fine. And I may gesso this and paint on top of it, or I may leave it just like it is. I don't feel like I have to change it at this point, and I just like the separator. And I like that the colors are similar enough. When you flip the page, it's not jarring. So I hope you had fun doing a sampler with me today and experimenting with our supplies. And I'll see you guys next time.